They can even squirt water at somebody they don't like. Hello and welcome to Fralins and Friends. I know some of you are new and I welcome you, and everybody else does too. We're glad to talk to you and to see your comments. This is continuation of yesterday when we were working on the Octopus. Right now we've just got someplace for him to live. Lighter waves at the top because the sun is shining more up there than anywhere. And I tried to make it look more like a wave, you know, like a wave that's coming in, like when the tide comes in or the surfer wants to go out. I don't know. I just thought it would be cool to make it that way. Octopus are extremely intelligent animals. They can solve mazes. And get themselves out of, I guess, if they're in a bottle or something, that they can get themselves out. They can even squirt water at somebody they don't like. They can very well do that. They can grasp things. But we know they have those little suction cups. Their arms can work independently of each other. And that is because each one has its own. Every suction cup in this thing's body has its own set of neurons. They have the largest brain of pretty much any aquatic animal. And a lot of that is because of the neurons in their tentacles. They can smell, taste, feel with those tentacles. They can grasp. Some of these are going to be some of them are going to be with their suction cups down, so you won't be able to see them. They're those little suckers that they've got. Now I don't have him all dressed up with all the same length, because some of them are on the other side and we're not seeing them all. Okay. Okay, what they hide very well is that beak. They have a very hard beak. And it's under the hood, around it. If I had him turned the other way, we'd see it, but I don't. They can crush and consume, well, the sheath on crabs and shells of oysters, clams, and all kinds of stuff. They eat little fish. Whatever it is, they grasp it, and they do have, as I said last night, they do have venom. I'm going to want to let him dry a bit before I start putting any suction cups on him, and I need to give him some eyes. But the funny thing is that Aristotle thought they were the stupidest animals, because they would store up food. In other words, they would make a pile or a store of clams and oysters and food that they wanted to eat, and then they would eat up whatever they had stored there, and then they'd just spit out those skeletal parts, the shells and the skeletons of fish and stuff. And to him, that was just made him a stupid animal. Now today, we would know that that makes him very intelligent. I can't say that these are all going to be correct colors, but I want them to be able to be distinguishable. So, the thing I want to do first is put a little bit of seaweed down here, not a lot, just a little. Give him a chance to make himself a little bit of sushi. I don't eat sushi. At least nothing with any live, or not live, any raw fish in it. Never even had sushi. I don't know who serves it around here, but somebody does, probably up in Lincoln. But it just, the whole idea just doesn't sound good. Okay. And boy, did he swim in too close. Now, every one of their suction cups, I think I've told you this before, on their arms, can smell, taste, and feel. That's 3 of our 5 senses. And so they've got a lot of neurons that are exposed. But we're working on this. Hope you can see. And a little oyster down here. I'm trying to make a fish, clownfish, but it's, what I need to do is get that eyeball and get the gills in there, and I'm not doing the greatest of jobs of that, so I'm going to let it dry and come back. So I think yeah, there is the joke where they have one big platter. I think that's with squids. I'm not sure, but no, they have 2. They have 2. Okay, while this is drying, let me give you some facts. Yes, my cheat sheet, because I do have to look this stuff up. Okay, they have approximately 500 million neurons, in two-thirds of those are in their arms. That's a lot. Oh, this is a good one. They can remember individual people. And they remember if it's somebody they like or don't like. And they can have been known to, if it's somebody they don't like, they'll squirt water at them. There was a college in New Zealand that had one in an aquarium of sorts, and it didn't like it. Then it would squirt, in order to turn the lights off, it would squirt anyway, it kept the electrical thing. And it got to costing them so much to fix it that they had to let the octopus go back out in the ocean. That's a funny one. All of them have some kind of venom that they can sting with, but humans generally aren't in any danger of real harm. I mean, they'll get stung, but then there is one place, and you can probably imagine where, they seem to get all the baddies. Australia. There is one that's got some very potent venom down there. But when you consider, I don't know exactly how many of these they have on each tentacle, but that's a lot of nerve tissue. I would imagine they're pretty sensitive, but they seem to know how to do what they're doing. They've been known, in order to get out of a tank, they've been known to put their, to stuff a tentacle into the, whatever was feeding water into it, and flood it so they can get out. Smart little buggers, aren't ya? And some of them not so little. Now, I'm not going to put a mouth on him because it's in his beak, which is underneath. There. I don't think the eyes look quite like that. I was trying to make them better, but this will have to kind of do. I'm going to give him something to eat here. Now, of course, we're not going to watch him eat it because it's going to go under him, her, it. They will feed it to their beak underneath. They do ink. This is one way they can get away from a predator, is to release their ink. And it just blinds whatever's trying to get to them. Let's see, where is that? Yeah, I said it remembers who it likes and don't like. I thought that was kind of funny. Okay. The power supply, that's what the one in New Zealand at that college, it kept squirting. It knew where that was. And it knew that if it sprayed there, the lights would go out. So it just kept doing it. They had to put it back in the ocean. That's the part about our stuff. I think I've gone through most of this. They do know that they are in captivity. I think that's been kind of obvious by now. Okay, no wonder. Okay, one of them was in captivity. It overflowed. It put its leg or its arm in the overflow valve, and so that water couldn't drain out of that, and overflowed the tank and got away. Yeah, you guys are smart little devils, aren't you? Okay, I don't know what more I can do to this painting without making it all weird looking, but there we have it. I guess I could put a little fish skeleton out there, but that might make it look a little gross. But yeah, I think we're done. At least for now. And we have gotten your request to do a, I'm trying to get, I'll stand it up, or point it up, for Sunday to do a chat about our wedding, how it came together and stuff. I'll give you one hint, and you can think on it, but I don't think you'll ever figure it out. And that is where I got my flowers to decorate the church. Anyway, Yes, it was a church one. So you can think on that one. And it's really a funny story, but it's a great story. And I gotta tip this up so you can see me again. Okay. Now hopefully you can see it better. He's got some arms that aren't showing their little suction cups, but I did give him something to feed on. But I hope you've enjoyed this. I've had some fun with it. But yeah, I'm going to let you chew on that for a little bit about where I got my flowers to decorate the church. And we'll see you tomorrow. Well, let's see. Well, you'll see this tomorrow. Well, be prepared Monday to see if you can come up with an answer. And put your, you can write it down in the comments if you like what your guess is. And some of you might get it, I don't know. So, I love you. Oh, good one. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, I didn't get it up quite high enough. There's your smile and wave. We do believe in smile and wave. Go out and give that to somebody else. Somebody might be looking like they're kind of having a bad day, or they just need a pick-me-up. And if you smile at them, that's friendly. If you wave at them, that's acknowledging. So, we will see you then. Good night.